Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino, and you and I are going to spend some nice quality time together. We're going to put a whole bunch of things into perspective. There's a lot of afraid and scared people right now, rightly so. Me, I'm not afraid of a damn thing. I never rattle. So let's talk. Anyway, yes, Thursday, February 17th, 2022. What happened? Well, this market definitely took a hit today. Before I even move on, several days ago, I did an entire video where I explained that if you had fear in the market, you were afraid of what was going to happen, I told you exactly how to hedge your portfolio if you were so inclined, okay, depending on your risk tolerance. I really do have all of you covered. Just look back a couple of days ago. I explained to you, look, you need to expect these things to happen. I have been explaining for weeks that if in fact war would break out, there's no war yet, but it's everywhere. You got Biden, Stein, and this other freak and that other freak talking about how war is imminent. Okay. Okay, all well and good. You know what? We need to talk a lot more about that. But the fact of the matter is, I've explained to you, always have the high ground, and that if in fact war did break out, that this market would take a hit. Today, there's nothing. Okay, we fell. Big freaking deal. But if bullets start flying over there, this market will fall. But again, I'm going to tell you what I said the last time. It will be short-lived. I would expect global markets to fall, probably substantially. That's the same phrasing I recently used. What are you going to do? You're going to run for the hills? You're going to sell your positions at the bottom? I really hope not. You see, the market goes up, the market goes down. You must continue, and I'm going to say what I have been telling you for years. Watch the drivers. Watch the drivers. Okay, what are the drivers telling us? The 10-year yield today did come down below 2%. That's a fear trade. Dollar stronger, stock market sold off. That's fear. Many people have written to me today expressing their fear. There's a lot of things that can play into that. Okay, number one, people aren't used to the market going down or volatility like we have seen as of late. You got Fed presidents, one freak's telling you that story, another freak telling you another story, keeping you off balance, not really understanding what's going on. The Fed wants nothing more than to continue to inflate despite the garbage, despite the nonsense, despite the propaganda. Even today, we heard again from Fed President Bullshit. He said, oh yeah, the Fed's got to, do something, and they got to do it now because inflation is surging out of control. Not when it hit 3%. They overshot their target. It's supposed to be 2%. 3% didn't matter. 4%, who cares? 5%, he didn't care at all. 6%, nothing. 7%, now he's starting to open his mouth. Are you kidding me? There's nobody here who follows this blog who didn't expect that to happen. And I'm telling you right now that inflation is going to surge much higher. Anyway, going back to this market here, people are afraid. Fear is something that causes people to act very irrationally, okay? You gotta ride these things out by watching market drivers, by staying hedged. Again, if you took my advice several days ago and hedged your position with calls and or puts, like I said how to do it, okay, you made some money. If you decided to do nothing because you have your portfolio set up the right way, and I've been explaining to you for years, risk on assets, long the market, large cap dividend paying stocks, long risk off assets, gold, silver, platinum, palladium if you are so inclined, and I also believe cryptocurrencies, as you well know. You got to stay spread out, and if you get rattled here, think, are you playing with scared money? You should never put a single fiat bill to work. Okay, you don't even own them. Unless you can afford to see it go away. But at the same time, look, if you're in any one single asset, yes, it can be a little bit unnerving. Like if you're all in the stock market, all in on cryptocurrencies, all in this, that, or the other thing. It's a bad way. It's a bad way to stay invested. And understanding that buying the dips works. Again, read the comments. A lot of people don't understand. Again, these are people that have a regular job. They're firemen, policemen, lawyers, maybe doctors. Maybe they flip burgers for a living. I don't know. But they don't understand what they're seeing. And a lot of them are going to mislead you if you follow their advice, which is saying get out of the market. Let me read something to you real quick, just real quick. I wrote a little article earlier, and this is the title, Buying the Dips in the Market. Has it really worked? By yours truly. Now, buying the dips, has it really worked? Abso-freaking-lutely, people. Lions and friends, this buy the dip strategy has been the most profitable way to beat this market for years. 3 examples. Okay, in 2017, ticker SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, okay, word for word, was trading at $234 a share. Today, it's $442. If you just held that, well, pays no dividend, you did pretty damn good. How about JP Morgan, which does pay a dividend? 2017, it was $90. Today, we're at $152. Here's another example. How about one more? Microsoft, 2017 was $65 a share. Today is $293, and yes, it pays a dividend. So buying the dips absolutely works. As a matter of fact, if you look back at 2008 when the market really melted down, Dow 12,000, if you would have held on to your positions, and most of you dumped them, you would have made out like a freaking thief in the night if you still held them. So name me one time ever where buying the dips doesn't work. It always works. Okay, the market always has a bias to the upside. And even when we get the big meltdown, which will occur in the debt market, there's no red flags here, people. The market's going to overcorrect. I've explained to you a million times. Markets always overreact either to the upside or to the downside. Okay, you understand that. When we do get this meltdown in the debt market, it's going to happen here. We are going to get a massive overcorrection in some pretty big companies. And that is going to be the buying opportunity of a freaking lifetime. All right, you just got to know what you're looking at. If you get rattled, if you're one of these people here, look at the comments here, last video, you're going to see a lot of rattled people, and they invariably have made an error. Okay? What we're seeing now, okay, let's say hypothetically, bullets start flying over there. I never said there was not going to be a war. I said this was an arms deal in disguise, no matter how it plays out. And that's really exactly what it is. It's much bigger than that, actually, because why? Not only does what's going on there right now and whatever may happen over there give a green light to nations to borrow again from their central banks in unbelievable amounts, trillions of dollars, to fuel another arms race, it also allows central banks to do the one thing that they want to do, continue to inflate. Let's say, for example, in 5 minutes from the time you see this video, bullets start flying over there, Russia and Ukraine. What's going to happen? The Federal Reserve Board of Governors, they're going to get together and they're going to have a big, fat, ugly party. They're going to be laughing their asses off, running around the office, saying this is exactly what we want. Because, again, why? This will give them a green light to continue to print on an epic scale. Of course, the global markets are going to take a big hit. It will be short-lived. I am certain of that. Be prepared for it. I sent out a notice earlier in my newsletter. Be ready. Be ready. Be ready for anything, always. But if, in fact, we get an event over there, bullets start flying, the market's going to take a hit globally. Okay, what are you going to do? You're going to run for the hills? You're going to go in a corner and suck your thumb somewhere? No. Because all the real traders and investment banks and hedge funds, they're going to be in here buying aggressively. Me? It's exactly what I plan to do. I run this blog like a hedge fund. Okay? I'm an open book. I tell all of you what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. I will personally, if in fact this market takes a big drop, and I've been buying the banks, and I've been continuing to buy the banks. Banks, especially the 3, I've been telling you for like, I don't know how freaking long. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. These banks are well positioned moving forward no matter what happens, and they pay a dividend. It's kind of funny. I was reading a comment just maybe a few minutes before this this video and I responded to it. Oh, I would never buy the banks. Oh, it's definitely not something for me. But meanwhile, that same person has no problem working for dollars, then taking those Federal Reserve notes and transacting with them all over the place. No problem at all. Okay, they think there's a distinction there. There is no distinction whatsoever. If you don't weaponize the system, then it eats you alive. You see, me and my alliance, okay, we are just flipping this around. We're just turning the tables on the corrupt, disgusting, vomitous system. And again, expect the market to take a hit if war breaks out. And I will be in here buying it all. I will be buying and buying and buying, period, the end. Okay, that's what I do. That's how you play the game. Anyway, so I hope this makes sense to you. Buy the freaking dips. It's been working for, well, ever. Okay, tell me when it hasn't worked. It always works. The market always has a bias to the upside no matter what. Okay, you get a market crash. Tell me one market crash that we've had. Go back as far as you want to go, where the market not only has rebounded, but put on extensive gains from the crash. You think that's by accident? Really? Oh, okay. Maybe. No, none of that is by accident either. And I can promise you, and I've told you a million times, central banks are running everything. Who pays for these global wars? We don't have it here in the United States. We're broke. We're giving the Ukraine all kinds of assistance, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Where's it coming from? We don't have it. We're broke. The United States is the most indebted nation in the history of the world. We don't have any money. Meanwhile, we're funneling it around the world to support the system, the debt-based system, the beast system. Central banks around the world would love nothing more than to see another actual global war, because they're the ones that are going to benefit from it. This thing over there, let's see what happens. Again, I told you, Fed governors, they're going to have a party like you can't believe, because all they want to do is continue to inflate. All the talk about how they want to get in here, they want to raise rates aggressively, they want to shrink their balance sheet. It's all a lie. All of it is a lie. Unless you believe a single word that comes out of the Federal Reserve, public enemy number one. If you do, then you're in the wrong spot, because I don't believe a damn thing they say. And again, the truth is hidden in plain sight. Go look at their balance sheet. You think that's going to stop? The Fed wants to continue to inflate along with other central banks. Give them any excuse to do it. Like, for example, create a war. Okay? Allow it to manifest itself. You think this is really people that want to kill each other over there? All wars are banker wars. I'm sure most of you have heard that before. That's really what's going on here. And every excuse imaginable and things you can't dream about are going to be put forth to keep this mechanism going. Going back to the market just real quick. Again, all of you know, as well as you're sitting here, I said get long COVID. I heard the same thing. Greg, you're telling people the wrong thing. Greg, you're telling people to buy the market when we're in a global shutdown and COVID is going to kill everyone. The market's going to zero. Well, my call on getting long COVID was one of the best calls I have ever made in my life. If you got in on that, bravo to you. And I'm telling you yet again, right here and now, get long Russia, Ukraine. Okay, meaning buy it. Buy the market. Buy the dips. If there is a war, buy that dip too. Period. The end. And again, fear, you're only afraid because you're not in the right spots. I mean, that's the only thing I can figure out. Or you're playing with cash you can't afford to lose. You must be hedged. Okay, like I always tell you, in risk on and risk off assets simultaneously. If you're going to be in any one asset class, you are exposed. And you're exposed in a bad way. And I don't want anybody to experience that kind of stuff. Anyway, look, people, I covered a lot with you today. 10-year yield still remains stable. Knee-jerk higher in the dollar. Fear trade today. Let's see how this plays out. I will continue to buy the banks here on the way down. Keep some powder dry for the possibility that there is a shooting war over there, which would make, again, the central banks, none more so than the Fed, more happy than you could possibly believe. They want it. You see, in my view, the Federal Reserve really does not want to stop doing anything. They need an excuse. They're already starting it, pointing their finger. Federal Reserve presidents, our politicians here, they're pointing their finger at rising energy. Oh, look at energy. Oh, look at energy. I told you this was going to happen. They will not allow you to know that it is the Fed itself that is the root cause behind this massive inflationary event, central banks around the world. You can't be allowed to know that. It's amazing, honestly, think about it. No world leader anywhere will point the finger at the Fed or any central bank. That should tell you something, okay? We know, you and I, that it is the central banks that have literally perverted the financial system to their benefit beyond anyone's wildest dreams, and we haven't seen anything yet. If they have to kill thousands, millions of people, that's what they will do to keep the debt-based economic model working and running. It's their only power. A central bank, the only reason why they exist is because of the system they've created. If we take that away, if we were able to somehow stop a single world leader, just one, I was hoping it was going to be Donald Trump. I'm not going to lie. I think most of us were. We thought he was going to, a lot of people thought he was going to end the Fed. I was laughing. I thought it was laughable, but I saw how he played it. No world leader, not the current idiot, Trump or anyone, will go against the central bank because they're the ones that are supporting the market. The central banks are the ones that are creating this feudal system here, a wipeout of the middle class. You have no friends when it comes to politicians, okay? None. Zero. They don't work for you. Once you snap out of that and you realize that the world is run by central banks, things will be a lot easier for you to swallow. Other than the show, it's all just a freak show, okay? They put on a nice theater for everybody, but it's the banks running it all, okay? Period, the end. All right, look, people, that's it. I covered a lot of stuff with you today. I hope what I said to you makes sense, all right? So let's see where this goes. Let's obviously continue to do what we are doing. We will not deviate. We are not going to deviate from our current strategy. Owning large cap dividend paying stocks, especially the banks. You could pick other ones too. Like I said, Microsoft, other big tech companies that are paying a dividend too. They're all going to do well. You want to get into some wildly speculative positions, growth stocks, whatever it might be? Well, talk to Kathy Woods and maybe she'll have something nice to say to you. But anyway, look, I'm a steady player in this market. You will know that. I've been telling you how to beat it for years. Again, buying the dips strategy, it's worked. I will place a link to that article if you want to read it for yourself, how buying the dips absolutely works every time, okay? In the description of this video, go check that out. And again, be ready, people. My lions out here, keep some powder dry, just in case there's a war breaks out, market's going to take a hit. And what I will personally be doing is aggressively buying. I sent this out exactly what I would buy in my free newsletter. Link in the description of this video. People, love you a lot. Let's see where this goes. See you in the morning.